Hi, so today we're going to go through the fundamentals of fly casting. Every aspect of your gear that you can optimize, leader, line, your casting technique, everything helps you in your fishing situation. You buy expensive fishing day after day, and if you can't get your fly out and it starts fishing as soon as it lands on the water, you're wasting time and money on nothing. So the casting is so important in terms of success in fishing. Getting the fly out in the right spot, in the right manner, being able to cast in every single position you meet, that's important and brings you more joy and more happiness. So we'll start with an overhead cast, just illustrated here. You point the rod tip at the line. Then you lift the rod up to 45 degrees. That's supposed to lift as much line out of the water as possible. Then you cast backwards to your distinct stop. You wait for the line to straighten out behind you, drift a little bit, and you cast forward to a stop. So lift to 45, accelerate to your backstop, forward cast. And if you notice the rod is a distinct stop, 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 drift, stop. And it's not the wrist casting like this. It's the arm. So stop, drift, stop. If you go follow through like this, you see there's no shape in the line and it doesn't go anywhere. It's just lands on the water and the wind decides where the fly is going to land. You have no control. So it has to be very distinct. Stop, tick, tock, tick, tock. And then you noticed I used my left hand. It's called double hauling. If you want to increase the line speed so you can increase your casting length, you haul with your left hand. It's a little difficult to teach anybody because it's like this. It's like rubbing your tummy and patting your head. Left hand does one thing, right hand does another. So when you cast backwards, you lift to 45, you cast backwards, you pull, then you follow. Then when you cast forward, you pull again. That increases your load in the rod. It bends the rod further than it does without pulling the line, and then it throws the line faster, higher line speed. You load the rod deeper, it straightens out faster. So you can increase your casting length by doing the double haul. And the harder you pull and the longer you pull, the more the rod bends and straightens out faster. So it's a very easy way to increase casting length. Now we'll jump into the underhand / spey casting. The only difference between the underhand or the spey cast compared to the overhead cast is how you set it up. So I'll show it straight from the front. So the lift is the same, 45 degrees. So instead of going straight back over the tip of shoulder, you go in a half circle around yourself, there, back to the same position, drift a little bit, and cast forward in a straight line. So that's the only difference. It's a cast where the line starts by anchoring next to you, or the leader. And this is another reason why we use these long tapered leaders, is because it creates the anchor we need and holds the line here when you cast forward. Like I described, you do the same, you lift to 45, and instead of going straight back, you go back in a half circle. There, leader lands and you cast forward. If you notice the leader lands here, we'll do it again. Lift, half circle, anchor, cast. This cast is very handy. If I couldn't get out here, now it's luxury. I can stand in the middle of the river on a gravel bar. I can do whatever I want to do. But if I couldn't get out here, I had to stand closer to the bank. I could lift, anchor, cast. I would still be able to fish this pool, even though I had the bank right behind me. It's one of the common mistakes that people cast this way, and then they try to cast that way forward. And that means they get the fly in the ear or the jacket or somewhere around the rod tip. So in order to fix that, it's very simple. Your feet points in your new casting direction. You lift the rod before you cast backwards, rotate your hip, cast, and cast forward. So now your back cast is aligned with your new forward cast direction. A simpler way of doing it is lift, just Little rotation, you put it down. Okay, now you got your new casting direction. Lift it up again and cast it over. That's the simplest way of doing it. Makes a little disturbance on the surface, but it's better than getting the fly in your neck. Another common mistake relates to the casting aspect, is people using the wrist. So if you use your wrist, there's no stopping your back cast, there's no stopping your forward cast. So if you use your wrist, the rod tip travels in a half circle. And you slap the water behind you and you slap the water in front of you. So if you slap the water here and you have to change direction, all the fish knows we're here. So it's never a very good idea.